Right, where does it say? Does it say anywhere on here?
Conscriptions.
Subscriptions. Ah, yeah. Subscription. Ah, yeah. Let's turn this down. Okay, there we go. Right, I need to get my colours. Put the light on. What am I doing first? Might do that wood to match. Hi Katrina, hope you're having a nice day. I've just come on to do a little bit of colouring chat. Hi Desiree. So I've already done this bit, this magpie and his little desk. I've done that off camera, and I just thought I'd do a bit of a live, sort of doing a few more elements from the page. I don't know whether I'm going to do the whole thing on videos or whether I'll just work on it in between time as well. I probably will. Hi Victoria, hi Janice, hi Loretta. I'm not too bad, thank you Katrina, just very hot. Right, so I think I'm going to start off by taking the same colours that I used on this desk and doing the window pane. Hi Patricia. So I'm using the sepia just to do the edges. And you can chat to me, tell me what you're doing today on this beautiful Saturday morning, or maybe early hours of Saturday depending on where you are. Hi Dawn, hi Lynn, hi Cheshire Cat, hi Brenda, hi Snake, hi Robin, hi Leah. This is just a bit of a colour and chat. Let me know if you've got any questions for me, or you just want to tell me about your day, what you're up to. It's currently too hot here to be outside. I went uptown today and had a shower before I went, washed and blow dried my hair and straightened it and everything like that, and by the time I got up the hill to town I might as well not have washed my hair because I was just so hot and sweaty. That's just how it's been for the last month or so. You can't complain, of course, because when you live in the UK you never know when you're going to get this weather again, so it's a bit of an anomaly at the moment, this weather. Thanks Victoria. So the colours that I used on the desk was a mixture of sepia, light umber, sienna brown and burnt ochre. So I just played around with those. The desk drawers was I think dark umber and sandbar brown on the front of the drawers. Quite a lot of people have been asking about the magpie, but a lot of people thought it was a crow, which I thought was really funny because crows are actually like completely black, whereas magpies are black and white, but they do have an awful lot of purple and blue in them as well if you look. So people were getting them mixed up, and I used a reference photo that I actually took myself of a magpie in my garden, and it had tons of blue and purple on it. So I think magpies must have different kinds of species around the world, and some of them have these colours and some don't, because people were getting confused saying why has it got blue on it with it being a magpie. But yeah. So moving on to the burnt ochre now. I'm actually using a mixture of sort of cold browns and warm browns as well. just to give a bit more interest, I think, to the piece, because wood has all different kinds of colours in it, doesn't it? All different types of browns and blacks. And oh, sorry Suze, your housework's gonna have to wait, Doc. So I don't usually mix warm and cold browns, but it's actually quite nice. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. I think I also used some goldenrod on the desk as well, now I'm looking at it. Sometimes I forget what colours I've used. So did everybody watch the last couple of videos that I put out? The stickles video and the watermelon seamless blending colouring video thing? If so, did you like it? Hope so. I know that the watermelon video was silent, but that was because I had kids running around and stuff, so it was just easy for me to do the video and take all the sound out at the end. And I did try and put some music over it, but YouTube only has like 5-minute music clips and you can't get them to run one after the other, so you can only have one at the start. So yeah, I'm not really going to be making a habit of doing silent videos. It's just that sometimes I've got too much noise going on, and now the kids have broke up for the 6-week holidays, it's probably going to be more and more difficult to get to do these videos. This kind of wood here has got loads of different colours in it, but I don't mind that. Thank you, I'm glad you liked the watermelon video. It actually turned out loads better than I thought it was going to turn out. I knew it would be like a nice blend. Let me just get it out for you. I knew it was going to be a nice blend, but I didn't realise it was going to be this smooth, and it really, really turned out well. You cannot tell that you've used coloured pencil on that. It looks like markers or ink or something. It's awesome. So don't forget to use your horizontal and then your vertical strokes on top to blend. Oh, I know, Victoria, I need all the stickles as well. I've got so many, as you can see, but it's just not enough. It's like I always have to have the proper full set of everything. I don't know if you guys are the same, but it's like I wouldn't buy just like a 40 box of luminance. I'd have to save and wait and get the whole 76 or whatever, you know. It's like I don't like having smaller boxes. I've actually got these pencils in for review. I'm going to be doing a review on these, and this is a smaller set. This is a 36 set, and I think it's 120 in total that you can get. These are the Albrecht Dürer Faber-Castell watercolour pencils. Just check out this packaging, it's absolutely beautiful. You get a sort of magnetic closure, and you open it up and the pencils are just sat inside, absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to review those. I think I'm also going to carry on these kind of wood colours up around the frame of the window as well. What I need is very sharp black to do some wood grain, or I might even use a pencil. Let's see what that looks like. Might not look so good with graphite, but give it a try. All right, see you later, Robin. Which video, Snake? Hi, Elizabeth. Got to thank you guys as well for all the lovely messages I received after my last live stream that I did, where I explained where I'd been and why I'd not been very active on the channels lately. Got some really nice support from a lot of you, so I really honestly appreciate that. I'm not just saying that, every single comment I read, and it does help to know that I've got people out there that actually do care and do want to listen, and you know, it definitely helps. Hello everyone. So I've just tried to do a little bit of wood grain with a normal graphite pencil, and it's quite difficult to see on camera, but it looks quite subtle. I quite like that. I didn't really want anything sort of too thick and distracting to take away from the colour. Thanks, Elizabeth. So I want to try and do some other things because I'm sort of browned out at the minute. So what else shall I do? Why don't you guys tell me what element of this page you want me to colour, and I'll do it. Okay, so what shall I colour, guys? And you know that I just pick colours off the top of my head, I don't plan, so. Hi, non-premium pencils, yes, I have got the set of 100 Crayola pencils, which are probably some of the cheapest you can get. And I am thinking about doing some sort of, not really a colour along, because I can't commit myself to colour alongs. I never get round to doing more parts, or it takes ages for me to do more parts. And then you guys are waiting and waiting, so I don't really want to commit myself to too many colour alongs. But I definitely am going to do something where I'm colouring with Crayolas or cheaper pencils and seeing if we can get, you know, decent results with them. Okay, so you want me to do the plates on the top left, so these here. So I would quite like to keep the plates looking like kind of Royal Doulton china, very nice, soft, subtle colours, I think. So let's have a look through the Prismas and see what we can pick out. So straight away I'm drawn to these deco colours. We've got, where's deco pink? This is deco pink. Maybe pink rose, that looks a little bit more vintage. Also the seashell pink as well. Quite like the ginger root. So I'm picking out some very, very light kind of vintage colours. Might go with the periwinkle. I'm going to take the cloud blue as well. And from the greens, let's go with the jade green. And a pale sage. Should we see what we can do with these colours on the plates? Yeah, grey lavender, good idea. I'll take that one as well. Okie doke, let's zoom in, go to the plates. There we go. So the colours that I've picked out, just off the top of my head, are grey lavender, cloud blue, periwinkle, ginger root, seashell pink, pink rose, jade green and pale sage. And I think these look really nice together. They're very, very soft and light colours, and they don't have, you know, they're not bright and they don't have a lot of vibrancy in them, but they will be nice, I think, for doing these kind of china plates. Yeah, the treasure room took me ages. Was it? Oh, the wonder room. Yeah. Let's see if I can find that. So there's a little bit of the wonder room for you that I did. That took me absolutely ages. So I don't really know why I've started this one, to be honest. Okie doke. So let's have a look at these two colours, the pale sage and the jade green. They're really nice together. Let's give that a go. So we'll start on this one here with the jade green. Just go around the edge of that centre part of the plate. One thing I'm getting into doing as well is trying to limit the colours that I use on one element, if that makes sense. So even though I'm using one colour on the centre of this plate, I'm varying the pressure so that I'm getting all those different tones of the colour, and it kind of looks like I've used more than one colour, but it keeps it simple, it keeps it basic, rather than the eye having to look at too much. But you're still getting all those different tonal values just by changing the pressure. So Luminance and Holbein to Prismacolor. Well, I've already done Holbein to Prismacolor, so check that out on my blog. Or have I? Hang on. I know I've done Holbein colour combinations. No, I don't think I have actually done a conversion with Holbein, but I did do the Holbein pastel colours converted to Prismacolor pastel colours. But yes, I will be getting round to it at some stage. It's just, you know, the list is ever long. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Elizabeth. I'm concentrating on one bit at the time. I'm not looking at the whole double spread and thinking, God, how long is this going to take me, you know, because you'll just never get anywhere with it. I'm doing one little bit at a time, and when it gets done, it'll get done. Thanks, Victoria. So yeah, basically just starting darker and heavier at the edges and just going lighter and more feathered strokes as we get in. And I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to add any more colours into that. And then I'm going to come in with the pale sage and start here and do the same thing. Am I zoomed in enough? Let's zoom in slightly more so you can see. Hey Sharon, hey Regina. We're just having a bit of a colouring chat today, just very informal, just chilling, doing a bit of colouring. Tell me what you've been doing with your day so far. Hi Modernist Colourist. (8:15 AM). Oh dear. I don't really like to see the clock before 9 AM, but I have to every day. So yeah, I've just used the pale sage right around the edges of this plate and feathered it in to white around the centre area. And I think I'm going to use this jade green again to fill in these little diamonds, but I'm going to do it still with a bit of a gradient if possible. Even though this page is full of items, I don't want to just rush through and solid colour everything. I still want everything to have a little touch of a blend or a gradient, you know. So every little piece has been given some care. Yes, I'm feeling much better, thank you, Suze. Monday and Tuesday were the worst days, and I managed to eat a full meal on Thursday, so I'm pretty much back to normal now. So I'm also going to use this jade green just to do the edge of the plate. And usually when I've got a round border like this, I'll do sort of a dark area on one half feathered out, and then I'll do exactly the same on the opposite side and feather that out, just so it looks like it's got a bit of dimension to it. I do like to leave a bit of white in most things that I colour to heighten that contrast. So that's one of the plates done. And even though the colours aren't bright, they're not in your face, they're not colours you would specifically jump to straight away. I mean, look at these two pencils. They're almost full size, so you know, I don't use them a lot whatsoever. But I'm trying to learn to use those in between very light or very dark colours that I don't usually jump to. So let's do another plate. Oh, thanks Elizabeth, I hope you're doing well with it so far. Hi May. Let's do another plate then. So I'm going to go with this pink rose, and then I think I'll also have the greyed lavender because I think they'll go really nicely together. So let's take that greyed lavender. Hi Nikki, I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm a lot better than I was earlier this week. Okay, so greyed lavender, and I'm going to do this one here, going right around the edges, quite dark, and then feathering it to the centre, just like I did with that plate there. I'm constantly keeping an eye on my phone temperature because for some reason my iPhone in the last few weeks has started heating up a lot for no reason. Even though it has been hot here, it's not hot in this room at the moment, so I think it's something to do with an update that Apple have done, and it seems that these iPhones are now overheating a lot. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. I've got a frozen bag of rice ready to go if I have to put my phone on top of that, so that we don't get cut off, hopefully. Hi Kalara. Yes, Nikki, you've just seen the bag of rice. Just looking through the comments. Steamy Florida. Is that FL Florida? Is that what that stands for? Yeah, but you've got different heat there, guys. Us Brits, we go on about different heat, but it's true. When I've been to America, even though it's red hot, you can handle it over there. You know, it's not sticky, it's not too balmy, it's not humid. Over here, it's so humid. You just can't even peg the washing out on the line without getting drenched in sweat. You know, it's just horrific. So yes, just using this greyed lavender, feathering out to white in the middle. Hopefully you guys can see these very, very pale colours and the gradation that I'm trying to do on them. Now I have this pink rose. I'm just going to colour this bit of the filigree type style thing, fleur de lis, I don't know what they call it, in the middle of this plate. And I am just block colouring that because there's not too much you can do with this little space. Oh, Megan, that sounds awful. Where do you live exactly? Like, which state? So the Midwest. Let me see if I can get my crap geography out. So Midwest. Midwest of the US. So I think the Mid-East is like Tennessee. Midwest. I don't know what's Midwest. Ah, Dakota. I thought Dakota was, or am I thinking of something else? You know, because in Dumb and Dumber, I don't know if you've seen Dumb and Dumber, that film, but they go to Aspen. Oh no, that's Denver. I'm getting mixed up. That's Denver. Because it's really cold there, isn't it? So I'm getting mixed up here. So you're in South Dakota. So that is hot. Oh my goodness, Loretta. Wisconsin. So you know a lot about, or you might know a lot about this Stephen Avery case in Wisconsin. That was, you know, Making a Murderer on Netflix. Have you do you hear a lot about that in your local news, with it being in your area? Hi Carla, thanks for joining. Yeah, he's in prison currently, isn't he? They're trying to get him off. I've actually written to Brendan, who is his nephew, who also got imprisoned. I've actually written to him a few times. Where are we? Okay, so I've done a bit of pink rose around the edge of that plate. I'm just going to colour in half of these little ovals with the grey lavender. Yeah, I know you're in Scotland, Suze. Desperately want to visit Scotland. Thinking of getting a little touring caravan so I can go up and down the country and see different places. Oh, in Stoke. I've driven through Stoke. I don't know where I was on the way to. Manchester, I think. Oh, Victoria, don't get me started on it. Seriously, Brendan reminds me so much of my brother. My brother's autistic. He suffers from Asperger's, and he's got Tourette's as well, and OCD and things like that. And he reminded me so much watching those interviews where they coerced him into confessing, and where he really thought he was going to be able to go back to school that same day, and he's literally never been free since. It was awful. So yeah, I've wrote to him a few times. I've still got his letters. Yeah, just awful. Okie dokie, so we've done 2 plates. That wasn't too bad, was it? Let's do another one. Let's go with blues this time. So I've got the cloud blue and the periwinkle. Let's do this kind of plate that's going off the edge here on this shelf. Katrina, we're talking about Making a Murderer, the series that's on Netflix, and the 2 guys that got imprisoned for it, and how I believe that they are innocent, and they were falsely imprisoned. And there's tons and tons and tons of people who rally about it every day, you know, and trying to get things done. They've got lawyers trying to get them out, and things being done at the moment, but everything is so slow, and they keep being blocked at every step of the way. That they keep trying to get appeals, and they keep being blocked by the Supreme Court and people like that, because I don't think the Wisconsin Police Department want their failings to be identified, so they just keep getting blocked. And it's just not, it's awful. Anybody who's got access to Netflix needs to watch that series, because you will be screaming at the TV, you'll be upset, you know, just at the whole injustice of the whole thing. Oh, the police definitely framed him. If you watch it, you'll find that Stephen Avery, the main guy who was arrested for it, he'd been put in prison for 18 years for a rape that he they found out didn't commit, because they found out by DNA that he didn't do it. So he'd been already falsely imprisoned for 18 years, and he was due to get a lot of money from the state for being falsely imprisoned. And, you know, obviously to save face, because obviously their investigation was wrong and they'd imprisoned the wrong man, and they were going to have to shell out all of this money to save face, they managed to finger him for this crime. And there's no evidence. It's honestly, you need to watch it if you haven't. I mean, the Averys, they're lovely sort of salt of the earth people. They've got their own scrap metal yard, and they are, you know, they're uneducated. You know, they're not the cleanest people. They're not the most well-spoken people, and you know, the way that they described this murder, how this murder occurred, the police, there would have literally been DNA and blood and evidence and things all over the place. It would have, they wouldn't have been able to commit the atrocity that they were accused of in that tiny trailer that Stephen lived in, without there being spots of DNA and things all over the place, little flecks, you know, not even one tiny cell of any DNA was found in that trailer. And they tried to make out, oh, I bet he cleaned it and bleached it and whatever. The trailer was an absolute mess. You know, there's no way it had been cleaned or tidied in years. And, you know, I don't think even the most seasoned of forensic cleaners would have been able to completely wipe out every single cell of evidence, and still leave it dirty and messy and lived in. So honestly, there's so much more than that to the case. You should honestly watch it. Yeah, exactly, Victoria. And even Brendan, I mean, it's awful what happened to both Stephen and Brendan, but I feel more for Brendan because he has these behavior, these mental issues. You know, he's obviously not kind of capable of, I'm trying to put this in a nice way, you know, he's got issues, he's got problems, you know, he's a vulnerable person, and he's now been in prison for sort of 11 years or something like that, you know, and it's the way that they coerced him into confessing, literally feeding him what to say. It was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, exactly, with the car keys. They searched this tiny trailer 6 times. A proper searching team searched this tiny trailer 6 times, couldn't find anything. And then these 2 guys who weren't even supposed to be there because they weren't supposed to bias the investigation or whatever, they suddenly walked in and picked up a key off the floor. Oh, this is her car key, you know? Ridiculous. Anyway, this isn't what we've come on to talk about, so I don't want to bore anyone that's maybe not interested in that or whatever. But as you can see, I've just been working on the inside of this plate as I've been talking, and done this with the periwinkle. Now I've also got this cloud blue, so I want to go around the edge with the cloud blue. And then I think the edge with the cloud blue here as well. I might even go over this a little bit, smooth it out. Yeah, that looks better. These 2 colours go really nicely together. Hey Robin, how did it go? Which gem? Just above it? This one here? I'll attempt it for you. Alright then Megan, have a good time. See you later. So I'm just doing the edges of this plate in periwinkle, but I've already coloured this part with the cloud blue, so it makes the periwinkle lighter when you go over that cloud blue, which is what I wanted. I didn't want it to be as dark as the centre of the plate. That's a really handy tip. If you want to keep your colours quite desaturated, it's always best to put a layer of white or cream down and then your colour, because it just won't let it get as saturated as it would if you put it down straight onto the paper. Oh, that's good, Robin. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Luca. Alright, so we have done 3 plates so far using our little palette of very, very dull colours, but they're also really nice. I love using different types of colours rather than the ones I automatically run to every time I open my pencil case. Now I have had a request to do this gem, so I think we're going to give that a go. Now then, what colours shall I do it? I might actually put my bag of rice under the phone now, guys, because it's getting quite hot. So bear with me. I'm trying to do this without it impeding the vision of the thing. I don't know if that's going to work. Hopefully it'll stay. Okay. Right, so for this gem, I am thinking a beautiful aquamarine or turquoise for this gem. What about that? So let's go for the cobalt turquoise. Parrot green and the light green. They look nice. Oh no, I don't cook it. I've got this bag of rice especially for phone issues. So this just goes back in the freezer to harden up again for next time. So I'm just giving these a bit of a sharpen. Yeah, Tracy, it's quite, what's the word? It's, I wanted to say threatening them, but it's not a threatening page. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean. Okay, yeah, exactly, intimidating, there you go. Okay, so, yeah, let's go for this. We've got our cobalt turquoise. I'm going to try and zoom in without my phone falling off the rice. Let's see, so let's do a bit on the inside here with the darkest colour. And let's sort of feather it out into a pyramid shape, like a triangle. Maybe then I'll do a little bit in this corner. This is all off the cuff, so I might do something wrong or something not so great, but hey ho. Then let's get this parrot green and maybe this bit here. So I'm literally just messing around. Let's have a bit more of this darker cobalt over this side. one by one until they get really light, and leave a little bit of white, of course. Oh, thanks, Robin. I really appreciate how much support I've received from everyone. I read every single comment and I check for comments multiple times a day. I love hearing from everybody, and it's been so lovely to get support from people, honestly. You know, I didn't want it to be a sort of sympathy video at all. It was just how I've been feeling, what's been happening, you know, and a bit of an insight into me and my kind of thought processes and mental issues. So I'm really, really happy that people liked the video and maybe also gained something from it, maybe felt a bit less alone in their own problems and things. So that's brilliant, you know. If I can help you and you can help me, then that's just awesome. That means that we're doing a massive, brilliant thing, you know, through this hobby. This is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, Alexandra, by Johanna Basford. Thank you, Sing. Loads of people kept saying magpies aren't blue and purple, and I was like, yes, they are. Okay, so I'm going to bring up a bit of this cobalt here. Hey, thanks, Kimberly. So I'm just switching around with the three colours, blending out. If I've put a bit of dark there, I won't put any underneath it, I'll put it opposite, you know. So I think that's just the trick with gems, really, is to put your dark colours in one place and then not in another, not in an adjoining place, if that makes sense. So on the frame of this gem, I think that gold would look really nice. Thinking about using this liquid pearl, but I hope it's not going to be too sort of fat a line to fit in these lines. Let's give it a go anyway, why not? Let's do it really steadily. Oh wow, it's a huge fat piece of, yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can get a small brush maybe and do it that way. I have these teeny tiny brushes. Check it out. Where are we? Teeny tiny brushes. Maybe it'd be better to do it that way. I'll squeeze a bit out. Yeah, I think that's definitely true, Robin, because so many people colour to distract themselves from things they're going through, whether that be mental issues or physical issues. And that means that everyone that is in this community have managed to find like-minded people, and that's incredible. You know, I don't think anybody would have thought that that could be possible when this whole colouring craze started. You know, it was just another fad, just another trend that was going to, you know, float away to make way for the next thing. But 4 years down the line, people have forged these amazing friendships, you know, and it's incredible. I mean, who knows whether these videos are going to stop someone from feeling depressed or out of their depth today, you know, just to be able to chat And that's why I think I like these live streams, because you can literally chat one-on-one with people. If they want to say something and you want to reply, you can do that. That's something you can't do on the pre-recorded videos, and people might not want to put their life story in the comments box, you know. No, I haven't done a bokeh background. I find them really difficult. I've tried though. Oh, that's really nice, Robin. So I've used this teeny tiny little brush and squirted a little bit of this liquid pearl onto it to do a really nice gold frame for this cabochon gem, whatever you want to call it. I really like that. I like how it's turned out. I hope that it's showing up nicely on camera to you guys. So here we go, Stickles to the rescue again. I have to wash my brush. This is the teeniest brush you've ever seen. Oh, that's brilliant, Nikki. I'm so proud of you for doing that, because as corny as it sounds, because I don't know you, I really am proud, because that is really difficult to actually open up and speak. But yes, this community is certainly very, very special, and anyone that sort of poo-poos colouring when you're an adult clearly doesn't see the benefits of being able to have an extended family or extended friends that you can get online and chat to, and how much that can help people. It definitely helps me. All right, night, Opal. Hope you have a nice night. I'll see you next time. Yeah, that's also true, Anne. The brushes thing that I'm using, it says on them golden maple, but I can't remember what. I'll link it for you in the description when I finish the video, but I got them from Amazon, and I think I typed in modelling brushes. So these are for people who paint little models and little things, you know, so they really need tiny weeny brushes. Yeah, me too, Nikki, me too. Suffered with depression for around about 10 years. And anxiety for well over 10 years, probably about, I don't know, 15 years maybe. Right, so I've done the gem, I've done 3 plates. What do you guys want me to do next? Bearing in mind I've only got 10% battery left, so I've got time for one quick thing before I have to love you and leave you. So you want me to do this spoon. Where is the spoon? Ah, the one hanging up. This one. Sorry, I'm not looking through the camera, so I don't see what you see. I see the entire page. Okay, so spoon. We're going to need some greys. We're going to need some cool greys, which are here. So let's go for 10%, 30%, 50% and 70% cool grey. Let's see if we can get a nice silver spoon look. Oh, right, first of all I'm going to sharpen them, because this spoon is small and we have 4 different colours. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the darkest one, as I usually do, just to try and formulate some shadowing. That just sounds way too technical for a colouring book, doesn't it? Formulate shadowing. Just going to get the darker bits in, basically. So I want to make it look sort of convex, like a spoon. So I'll attempt that by keeping the shadows to the edge. Oh, I have physical disorders too, believe me. I suffer from IBS, which is not great If you suffer from it, you'll know what I mean. I'm going to go around with the next colour down, which is the 50% cool grey. And sort of colour in the oval of the spoon. So I think it's really important when you're doing metals is to get it as smooth as possible. You know, any kind of lines or transition areas need to be completely seamless. Oh goodness, Loretta, that's, I do feel for you, that's awful. Yeah, I suffer, I live with someone who suffers from osteoarthritis and degenerative disc disease in the back. Basically needs a whole new skeleton, my husband does. So I really, really feel for him. So I'm just adding a few more areas of shadow to deepen up that contrast. And hopefully I've been able to make that look spoon-like. I'm also going to do the handle in the metal colours as well, using all the different cool greys. So for the Prismacolor pencils, I use mainly this one, hang on, which is an electric sharpener by Sunrise Pro. It's on Amazon, I think it's about 20 quid. But because I've had to unplug that and use the plug to plug in the iPad that I'm reading the comments on, I'm using a handheld one that I got for 50p from the supermarket at the moment. So you just have to be careful, really, how you hold them when you sharpen them, so that you're not putting pressure on the pencil when you're sharpening them. Okay, so I'm going to call this done, and I'm going to say that I hope you all have a, yes I do go from light to dark with the greys, Tracy. I hope that you all have a beautiful Saturday and a brilliant weekend, and I will be back with another live colouring some more elements from this page if you want me to. I'll probably have done a bit more in between time as well when I'm sat watching the telly. But let's just zoom out so we can see what we can see. There we go, you can just about see the bag of rice there. Alright, so this is what we've done today. We have done this bit of wood here underneath the window. We've done these 3 beautiful vintage decorated plates. We have done a lovely aquamarine gem with a gold edge, and we've done a spoon, a silver spoon. So thank you everybody for sitting and chatting to me again. I really appreciate it. I love talking to everyone. I love making new friends and you know, everything. I love it all. So see you all very, very soon, and have a great weekend.